on, tough guy.
Sons of Scotland, I am William Wallace, and I see a whole army of my countrymen, but they'll never take our freedom!
It's Flat Earth Friday. How are you doing this evening, brother?
I'm great. I'm excited to be here tonight, and thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Yeah, so we got some really good content lined up for you all tonight. You know, it took a long time to start getting this good quality footage of a 24-hour sun in the south, but it's coming in, and we're going to be going through it. And, you know, at some point here soon, if you don't believe that there's going to be a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, you're crazy, right? You're just denying all evidence, and you're going to look like a fool. So we're just going to keep putting it out there, and if people like Jaron and Witsit doesn't get it, you know, continue to act like it hasn't been proven to exist already, then, you know, so be it on them, and so be it on those that follow them. So we're going to be putting that stuff out here tonight. We're going to be covering some of the stuff where you've been going into other people's live streams, and, you know, people do talk about us here and there, even though they don't want to. We're going to be covering some of that tonight. And what else is on your mind?
Yeah, so looking at the 24-hour sun footage above the horizon in Antarctica, then we've got the projection, the improvement on the Winkle triple. And what it does is shows how the proper orientated southern and northern section of the Earth can actually be portrayed in an AE style map projection. So we've got that. I'm excited about people getting involved making memes. Why don't you give a quick update as to what's going on to that?
Yeah, because we're covering this final experiment false dichotomy PSYOP, and fake Pastor Will Doofus put out a video asking for memes regarding this final experiment thing. I've provided 2 so far. We've had somebody in the reality check chat provide 3 themselves. So, you know, Team Yahushua has put out 5 of these memes so far, and we're actually going to have a little contest. So everybody that participates and makes a meme regarding the final experiment, you know, if it's a decent meme, we're going to put it up. I'll post it on Awake Souls. You've probably been getting some notifications recently. We'll be going through and showing everybody what these notifications are about. They're about memes that are being created for the final experiment PSYOP, and so we'll be going through that. We're just trying to get everybody active, doing something, like participating. You're like, get on the score sheet somehow, everyone, and don't just pass up the opportunity to participate in what's going to probably be the final false dichotomy of all time. Because if the Great Tribulation gets kicked off, you know, then we can expect the 2 witnesses to step up, and I really don't see the New World Order being able to run any of these false dichotomy PSYOPs like they're doing right now anymore, because, you know, the wicked are all going to get destroyed. And so this might be it for false dichotomies, everyone.
Yeah, so to get involved, do as much as you can. We're going to be putting some links to different websites where you can just enter the text into a variety of different meme sources, add whatever captions that you can think of, right? And get involved, start sharing it. It was Will Doofus who wanted to do the meme challenge, and he's not showing them. I guess they're only going to pick a few to show, but we'll do our best to show every meme that anybody makes. Again, if you're not a member of the Reality Check chat on Telegram, you're missing out. That's where we're having the memes. That's where you can upload the meme and you can get involved with us there. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see. I know Zwars has already made a few entries. We got other people in the group that can also try to make some memes. Again, great music. We've got so much planned for tonight. Again, looking at talking about, so Jeranism brought us up on the Nachikita stream, And then he all of a sudden had an open panel, and that Q character was there. So I jumped on there with hopes, that these people would join and answer for some of their accusations. But again, nobody joined. So we'll be going through a little bit about what Jaron was saying about us and how ridiculous this guy continues to be over and over and over again. I'm just looking forward to getting into the evidence and proofs into that. And if Jeranism is tuning in right now, hey, at any time you can join us. We can have a live stream. You can join Jason alone. You can join me alone. We just want to talk and show everybody the evidence. So after we go over all of that, we're going to be looking at all the different supposed 24-hour above the horizon suns in Antarctica. Some of the stuff, it's not the best footage, but again, it's in a redundant amount, just over and over and over again, just more and more footage, and it's been hidden. So I'm excited to get into that. That's because we've searched it. We even have live streams for years of Jason literally putting 24-hour sun, 24-hour Antarctic sun, 24-hour Arctic sun. For years, we literally documented how there was none. There was no footage. There was the odd video, and it was garbage, right? Until all of a sudden, Will Doofus and his gang show up. Now there's like 40, but some of them are off YouTube. We have to go to Vimeo. But yeah, I'm just excited. Everybody, thanks for being here tonight. And, get comfortable. Let's get into this content.
Yeah, and some of it's rubbish. But then again, there's a few simple things that once you actually get the lay of the land and you understand which direction you're looking, then all of a sudden a simple picture can tell you everything that you need to know. And so what we want to do is get everybody acclimated to this Union Glacier camp area, get you into that setting, and show you how you can easily tell whether or not you're looking at a sun that would be impossible, because you're looking south. You can see the sun when you're looking south, and it's out there in front of you when you're looking south. So we'll get into it, and we'll see you on the other side of this break, y'all.
Man of the world, you got too close to the collapsing star. When we collide, we both forget just who we are and how we were. I tell you, everyone's afraid of the poison from your tongue. So let it all out and I'll bury it deep. Let your fear disappear into sleep. I never signed up to be the only one, to be there when you're coming down. You only ever call me when you've had your fun and you need someone around. I never signed up, When a black moon comes to let you know there's no night left to ignite your hope. I never signed up, I never signed up to be the only one.
And we are back with something. Go ahead.
I just wanted to point out, Jason and I did not sign up to be the only ones out here. We want everybody to get involved, right? Start making content. Join the Reality Check chat group. And Jaron, QNFEE, Jake the Asshole, all you characters here, we're not here to be the only ones. We want you to join us. It's an open invitation to all of you.
Yeah, so if you all got a notification, there's a thing on YouTube called posts. And so I've started using it, and we're using it for this meme contest that fake pastor Will Doofus came up with. And so here is an entry from Zworst. And so everybody, the way to post your memes is you got to give it to us at the Reality Check chat on Telegram. And then we'll take your meme and we'll post it here. And we'll count up the score. At the end of this, we're going to be counting how many thumbs ups everybody receives. So I encourage you all, if you haven't gone and checked out these posts yet, here's one from Zworst, and he's got up here movie Leave the World Behind, produced by Barry and Mike Obama of 2023. And you got the kid with the Obey shirt, and then you got the Will Doofus with the Final Experiment on the shirt here. That was a NASA shirt, I think, right?
That's correct. Yeah. Good job. Good job, Zworst.
And then here in the thumbnail down here, you have lying and deception. Are they always wrong? That's from a thumbnail of Pastor Will Doofus, where he actually tries to justify lying and deception, right?
But lately he's been saying that he wants to be honest. You got to be honest, right?
Yeah. Maybe you should take these videos down. So here was another one. This was one from Zworst. And so this is, and we want to get everybody involved. There are templates out there. And so you can go to meme sites where all you have to do is just change it the way you want to change it. And it's very, very easy. I think I saw a question from Virtual Reality Witness in the chat about the putting different faces on, this type of stuff like this. We will explain to anybody that actually wants to do these things how to do these things. So we want so badly for people to get involved and get creative and start making their own memes, right? So this is False Dichotomy is for the Final Experiment. Shills and Trolls Changed My Mind, with Pastor Will Doofus sitting there.
So as you're talking, I'm just going to let the viewers know. I'm going to put links in the chat. Don't click them now, but you can come back to the live stream and click them. And I'll also leave them on pinned comments below, where it just takes you to a site where all you have to do is literally enter the words that you want. The template is there. You can choose any template, and you just have to come up with the thoughts to put on the meme. And then you could just either download the images, and some of them you can actually screen capture them to get the highest quality resolution. Back to you, brother. I'll put in the next link in the chat.
Yeah, so this is one that I made. False dichotomy. So it's got the definition. A false dichotomy is presenting two choices when more than two choices exist. And, if I would have had the room, I would have liked to have pointed out that, both of the options in a false dichotomy are usually wrong, right? The third option that's being hidden is usually the right one. So you have Doofus, where he's got no model, and then the pressurized pizza domers, they don't have any model, and he's saying that Earth is only a ball or a pizza. That's it.
Well, and then he goes and says that our model is his model. Right, that the sun rises up from the Earth and then sets back into the Earth on the other side. And this is exactly how he believes Earth is, right? He says that this Andrew Marsh site that we use is a sphere model, is what they say. So that it's his.
Yeah, but we'll go through it, but you can clearly show that This shows the luminary rising from Earth and setting into Earth. No matter what you do, no matter how you scale this, you cannot get the sun to wrap around the plane, right? That's impossible. So the luminaries do rise and set into Earth. So this model is accurate to 100th of a degree per second, yet he says that there's only 2 models and ignores ours. Here's another one from Zorst, and it's Globe Defender is a mental disease. Changed my mind. Right, with Doofus sitting there. So, 8 thumbs up, and get out there, everybody. Do your voting with your thumbs, and support the memes that you think are best, and then we'll just tally it up at the end and see who got the most amount of votes, and we'll hand out a virtual trophy for it, right? And so this was the first meme that I made, and this is Antarctic and Satans. And so people might not know what this is a reference to. Just want to show everybody there was a movie called American Satan that came out in 2017 where this guy is playing the part of the devil, and then this guy, they're part of a rock band, and so the devil's explaining to them how they have to sell their soul in order to become rich and famous. And so this is actually titled, "The Best Place to Hide Something is in Plain Sight." And that's, and we're going to be going through a lot of hidden in plain sight stuff tonight. And so the meme is I pay for you to go to Antarctica and say Earth is a ball. And you got Jaron saying, hell yeah. And Witzig get shit saying deal. All right, so they are getting paid, and they are going to go to Antarctica, and they are going to say, they've already said that if they see a 24-hour sun, that means Earth's a ball, that they're upside down, spinning, right? So, problem, right?
Yeah. Well, Jaron said a number of times that there's no other model that explains it other than the globe. Witzit, I haven't seen enough of his content to comment completely what he's saying.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll get into the Jaron stuff right now, and we'll start bouncing around a little bit because I do want to touch on Will Doofus's claim that there's no other model out there. So it all does actually sort of tie together. So this happened on Nacho's channel, and I just want to say right now that he was asking for me to apologize for the way I've been talking about him, and I'm not going to be doing that. I was able to have a respectful conversation with fake Pastor Will Doofus. Right? We were able to get through that just fine, knowing that each other despised each other, right? So I could do the same with Nachikita if he wanted to do an interview, but it's going to be an interview on my channel and me interviewing him. I don't want to go on his channel. So this right here was Jaron.
You're blocked to begin with, so.
Yeah, this was Jaron going on his channel when it was supposed to be an interview for Rose 777. She said that Jaron was getting talked about, and so all of a sudden Jaron showed up, and so everybody used the transcript generator to be able to find things that you're looking for. It's real simple. Jaron starts talking about us here when he starts lumping us in with the people that he's against. Now notice that he only really has Ronnie and I, Leo from Level Earth Observer, I guess his name is Adam, used to be in the jet fuel hoax, I think, and Nathan Oakley. So when he has opposition, he doesn't have any other opposition. There is nobody else that's going after Jaron, calling him out. And so he won't call us by name. And we'll just listen to these clips where he brings us up here real quick, right?
Yeah, and if anybody wants to go and tune in, you're going to hear it had to be one of the most pompous introductions that I've ever heard. Rose was practically serenading him. He was the most persecuted man on YouTube, It was one of the most disgusting things I had ever witnessed. I couldn't even believe the way that they brought this guy on. I mean, I wouldn't even come on the podcast if someone tried to introduce me like that. I just was, guys, I'm out. I'm not feeling well now.
Yeah, so this is the first way he brought us up.
Ronnie and Jason, for Leo, for Oakley, some of these people that have gone out of their way to repeatedly say terrible things. Maybe not. I don't see how they can come back from that.
We're not trying to come back from that. We're trying to expose that Jaron is a gatekeeper for the New World Order, and that he's going to sell out. He's going to be the ultimate Benedict Arnold for flat Earth. He's going to try to sell the whole thing down the river. So then he does bring up this a little bit later.
They just hold on to that belief. For instance, Ronnie and Jason still think that there's clouds behind the sun. Now, if we aren't at a place yet, if people are so into their own personal beliefs and what they believe they think, then we'll never get anywhere. And so that's scary to think that people, because you can show somebody that clearly there's no sun in the clouds, because we can get in a hot air balloon or an airplane or whatever. And if we get above the clouds, what do you know? The sun is above the clouds. So there is no clouds behind the sun.
Do you think everything that Ronnie and Jason has to offer is incorrect, everything? Or do you think they have some truth that, to what they have to offer? Let me just ask you.
All right, so he's going to go on to say that he
got some truth.
And
we got some truth.
Not that I am a fan.
But that claim right there regarding the sun, like acting like we've got it wrong, the clouds behind the sun thing, is just so shilly. It's crazy, because we've covered over and over and over the expectation that because as the circle of sight gets larger, the path of the sun becomes bigger, that as you go above the clouds, once the sun is above the clouds, it's going to be above the clouds. But we've shown for years and years and years, and we're going to show it again, that when you're above the clouds, you can see the sun rising up through the clouds and setting down into the clouds. And so we're not only going to be showing the same old stuff that we've been showing for many, many years, but we also have some high altitude balloon footage that we want to go through that's new.
So what we've been stating over and over again, and I'm going to state it again, is when I'm on the ground and I see a plane fly over top of the sun, and only the bottom part of the plane lights up as it just crosses above the sun. The people in the plane, they see the sun at a fixed distance away from them, at the same distance the sun is fixed away from me and you and every other observer in reality. Right? This is one of our foundational virtual reality evidence proofs. Right? And the fact that all Jaron has to say is that rising above now, once you see the clouds behind the sun, if you continue to rise, that's exactly what we've been saying. So the actual debunk of what Jaron said was when you're already up at altitude, right, way above the clouds, way up in the sky, and the sun rises up from underneath them. Okay, that's a huge problem that Jaron's not going to address. Again, everything that Jeranism does, being the gatekeeper that he is inverted and flipped. Completely just comes straight out with a lie, right? So if he's saying that, to watch the sun with the clouds and then rise, just what about rising first and then watching the sun rise through the clouds? There's no way to debunk it.
Yeah, so let's go on and get into some of this footage that we've got here. And so he's saying that we're wrong about clouds behind the sun. And I want to show everybody here that this is new footage that's coming in. This is being shared in the Reality Check chat on Telegram. And this isn't our footage. This isn't the stuff that we've been sharing for the last 7 years. This is somebody completely different. 9 views. And this video's been up for 6 years. All right, August 19th, 2017. And let's go ahead and give this a thumbs up right away. So go ahead and watch what's happening here. You've got a sun that's descending. And all right, so you've got this layer of clouds where you can see three-dimensionally. We'll get back up to it. Needs a little better tripod. All right, so you have your front cloud here, then you've got your middle cloud layer, then you've got your back cloud layer, and you can clearly see which ones are in front. He's giving you some context here. All right, it's going down into this layer of clouds. You can see there's another layer below this one. You've got clouds in front of, all right, and you can see around the edges the ones that are clearly behind. Very to see. And you can see that it's descending through this cloud layer, and it's going to come out the bottom side of it. All right. Here's new to everybody footage. It's the same thing that we've been sharing all along. Look at this top edge as it goes down through the cloud here, and it's coming out the bottom side of it. You can put it in so many different tools. You can put hard edge filters on. You can put emboss filters on. You can turn the contrast up and down. And the other thing is the person that's filming can use an ND filter to prevent overexposure. You know, so this bottom side of the sun is getting a little overexposed. It's hard to tell exactly where the crisp edge of it is. The top side of it, though, right, not overexposed. And look at the lighting between the layers of clouds here. You can clearly see that this is where the sun is. It's not lighting up those clouds back there the same way. Just these right here. But Jaron says, nah, we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, just go up in altitude and you'll see that the sun's not there. Just like all he had to say was, yeah, Ron, okay, you think the clouds are behind the sun? Well, how come the sun is setting somewhere at the same time? How are the clouds behind the sun there, right? I'm surprised he didn't say that, but he did.
All right, so we're not just going to show clouds behind the sun footage. We're going to show other ways of viewing this. And so another way is to clearly see that an airplane, right, if it's at sunrise and sunset, can get underlit. All right, this is clear, evident, obvious that the sun is underlighting the plane. The sun is not above the plane here. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that this is an underlit plane, that the sun is below it. And we're going to get to from the plane where you can actually see and prove that the sun is below the airplane as well. So we've got that type of proof. This is what we were just covering with the Chicago skyline. But I want everybody to pay attention here that here you have a full-size sun. You have a clear layer of clouds right here. Then you have the city of Chicago from across the lake, where you've got the buildings all standing straight up, but you know there is a distance to the horizon where things start disappearing. But here you have a full-size sun where it's bigger than these buildings because it's zoomed in so much. And just watch the way this looks. I'll go back here. This is time-lapse footage, so it's going to go quickly. But you have the sun going from above the clouds, descending through the cloud layer. What's happening underneath there? The sun is coming out in this bank of clouds. It's coming through that bank of clouds. It's not coming out the backside over here. You've got illumination happening as soon as the sun is coming through that layer of clouds right there. All right, coming through. And now all of a sudden melding with the ground, full size. I mean, keep in mind, if you're in Michigan looking at Chicago, that it will bring up an azimuthal equidistant, and we'll show you where the sun would have to be, all right? Because 6 hours from noon, you're going to have the sun over like past Hawaii, right? So this isn't a sun that's past Hawaii right here. It's coming through this bank of clouds that's right here over Chicago. And it comes down right there, disappears. This was the hot spot in the sky. Right, this just set into Earth right here, everybody. That's should be clear and obvious. Another way of looking at it. Go back. We've got the sun up above here. Here's Chicago across Lake Michigan. Watch the way the clouds are illuminated. Sun going down full size. You can see that there's a layer of clouds at the horizon down here in the background. And here's an airplane taking off right here. But here comes our sun down full size across Lake Michigan. Come on, be faster, YouTube. And you can see that the lighting of the clouds is just localized to the sun right here. All right. So they're going to do a little rewind. Another view. All right. The lights go out right here. That was the sun coming down into Chicago, and that was it. Now, we got one more of these examples, and then we'll move on. Now, that's truly amazing footage. 56 miles away, you can see that these buildings aren't tilted away. They're standing up perfectly, yet their circles of sight have gotten to the point where that's all that you can see left of them. This really big sun coming down into Earth. Right there. So this is the kind of stuff that we've been sharing throughout the years. This is why I find it just absolutely ludicrous that Jaron would try to come out and say that all you have to do is go up in a balloon and you'll see that the sun, right, is above the clouds or whatever. So this is one of his boys, Matt Long, the biblical Earth guy, and he took a flight with a P900 and he just blew your whole psyop out of the water here, Jaron. Check this out.
Picked the window seat because I knew I'd get a chance to see a sunrise.
You know, of course, Toronto had to get the shout out, and it like
Thanks, Matt.
somehow those connections always seem to come up. I don't know why.
You can see I'm looking very touristy with my P900, but what I recorded was 100% proof that the sun is not 93 million miles away. So check it out.
Just right there, lock into your head. He also proved that it's not 3,000 miles high.
You said that just as I put that into the chat. Literally.
So here's the video I took. As you can see, the sun is about to start rising and it's not even past the horizon. You can see the horizon in the background, and the sun is going to start rising through that thick layer of clouds right.
The sun is going to start rising through that thick layer of clouds. I cannot tell you how many shills have come in saying, oh, your evidence that the clouds are behind the sun, can you show us the sun rising through a thick layer of clouds, or a thick layer of clouds behind the sun?
Well, and I've got a comment here again, because if anybody missed was it our last hangout that I went through? No, the one before that, where I went through all of the different simulation proofs from Mikhail Flat Earth Photography's channel. What we see here is the sun literally comes up out of the ground. Right now, he's above the clouds and the sun is coming then up through those clouds. And it's almost the exact same thing that we witness. It's just we've been brainwashed our whole lives to think that that sun is 98 million miles away, right? When really it's right there.
let's do some really, really, really simple, basic cognitive things right now. And I'm going to ask a few questions. I want to make sure everybody's on the same page here. Does everybody agree that the airplane that Matt is in is above the clouds right now?
I do. I agree.
In the chat, please let us know. Do you believe that the airplane that Matt is in is above the clouds? And then, once we get beyond that, the sun. Is the sun coming up through the clouds? So let's rewind this. So let's get it when it's lower. And he's zooming in and out. And you can see what the difference a zoom makes, because we're going to get a much more distinct horizon as he zooms in closer. But all right, so the sun is smaller here. You don't see its full, as much of the diameter. It's coming up through the clouds, but it's still a full disk. The plane is above the clouds. The sun is below the clouds. There's so many other ways that we can prove this to everybody, but this is just one of the ways. And anytime you've ever recorded an airplane flying above you during sunrise or sunset, did you see the plane underlit? Was the light shining on the bottom of the airplane?
Yes, it's obvious. Anyone that's ever seen a sunrise as airplanes from an airport are leaving, you see the sun on the bottom of the airplane.
That would be impossible if the sun was 3,000 miles up or 93 million miles away.
Yes, it completely shatters the reality that the sun is anywhere above the ground. It comes up out of the earth, just as the way it's described of in the scriptures.
And we can go to that 3D model thing and we can show people exactly how this works again and again and again and again. But it is tiring, because I would like to point out to people that we have been sharing this since October 9th, 2018 is when Matt published it. I'm sure we probably covered it within a day or two, but this isn't the only time that we've shared this. We've shown footage from Wolfie 6020 of the moon being below the cockpit view that he's showing. Below. This is what we would expect. Sun, moon, below a flight, right, at rise and set. And then above during the day. That's exactly what you would expect. But watch this.
So here's the video I took. As you can see, the sun is about to start rising, and it's not even past the horizon. You can see the horizon in the background, and the sun is going to start rising through that thick layer of clouds right there. Now, if the sun is 93 million miles away, it would be rising at the horizon, not in the middle of the clouds.
All right. This is the thing that just makes me want to bang my head against the wall. If the sun is 3,000 miles up, like in the AE map model, the sun would never be below the clouds. The clouds aren't 3,000 miles up. This plane's not 3,000 miles up. He's showing the evidence for a simulation, saying this debunks heliocentrism, and he's still going to stick with the Freemason New World Order AE map model. But he's one of the guys that's going to take it to the light being a focal point. So we hear, I'm seeing the shill comments come in saying that the brightness of the sun is what's making it shine through. Can you show us against the dark layer? Here we can literally see the sun coming up through the cloud layer where it's below the airplane. Any person can get on an airplane, sunrise, sunset, take your zoom camera with you, and if you got clouds out at the horizon here, you're going to get the same shot. This isn't the only footage that we've seen of this. It just happens to come from a fake flat earther, which gives us another thing to debunk, and that's the focal light that's going to be coming up. He's going to give the false explanation for this being some sort of focal light, And we're going to use this exact footage right here to show how stupid that PSYOP is.
Right there. So I was at about 34,000 feet when I was recording this with my P900, and I don't see how that is possible if the sun is 93 million miles away. So, how is this possible on even a flat Earth? Well, it is plain to see, if you can see the sun behind cloud cover on a sunny day, that the sun is not a flaming fireball 93 million miles away.
All right, this is the absolute gibberish that I'm actually in the process of making a video against right now. But so that whole clip right there comes from a video that was published February 18th of 2021, and so this is, we've just been banging these same points over and over and over. The fact that Jaron would say, you know, you can just go up and see that the sun's never below the clouds. Get out of here with that, because there's not only this video goes into the Wolfie 6020 proof. So everybody knows that Wolfie 6020 is an airline pilot from Australia that has always been the opposition to Jeranism. And so he put out this video a long time ago, and he's showing right here that he's flying above the sun and moon, and he's proving it. He's absolutely proving it. You can go take a flight, everyone, and when the sun rises and when the sun sets, you're going to get the exact same thing, where the shadows are going to be cast upward in the cockpit, and that is the proof that you're literally above those luminaries. So let's go ahead and watch this. You can prove that this airplane's above the sun and moon right here, 1,000 feet. Team Yahawashai was probably the first channels to share on YouTube this content with everybody else, because we used it to prove that the AE map model is impossible. The following footage is being used under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use of purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research.
Scholarship.
So we had a nice little flight today out of Perth, and we were heading north at 45,000 feet, and the timing was just perfect to see the sunset on the left-hand side of the aircraft and the moon rise, the full moon being the 11th of April, rising on the right-hand side of the aircraft. And as you can see just in this frame shot, the moon.
All right, so sun and moon we're getting here, all in one debunk. Quick.
Over here is below the eye alignment balls. Now, I'm not actually aligned perfectly there, but when I play the video, you'll see I do move up and down. And when those three balls are perfectly in line, that is true level, okay? And you'll see that when they are aligned like that, the moon is clearly below the true level. And I've got a couple of clips like this. I just tried to get as much as I could just in a short space of time. But what that shows, what this video shows, and I also make a point of showing the artificial horizon to prove that we were flying completely level at the time. And it shows the moon being below true level. There's a couple of different shots, you'll see it in the video. Now, the other thing it shows, that's the horizon, the artificial horizon, showing that we're not turning. And the other point, I'll just try and get the right point on the screen grab. I hold my finger just up at the top of the window frame, and I'm actually doing that so you can see it moving on the left hand side. And because the sun is below us on the other side of the aircraft, you'll see my shadow is well above the equivalent level. So this black rim here is sort of in line with the top of the cockpit window, and I've got my finger on the other side of the aircraft just going down at this point, but the shadow is well above. So that's proving that the sun is below our level. So in this video, you're seeing the sun out the left-hand side of the aircraft below our level, and the moon rising out the right-hand side of the aircraft below level. So once again, how is the sun casting its rays into our aircraft at an upwards angle if it's not below us? That's the only way it can be achieved, is that the sun is physically below our true level. And on the other side of the aircraft, the moon is rising also below true level. Anyway, I'll play the video and you can see all that for yourself.
I mean, come on. Look at that. That's the moon, everybody. They're above the moon right there. But Darren wants to say, nah, they're always above because they're 3,000 miles high, right? Look at how close that looks from up there. Come on, everybody. Make sure to fly at full moonrise. Right? And bring a zoom camera along with you.
Which is sunset.
Yeah. That was great. The only thing that he missed was getting the moon coming up through the clouds. Right? So we've shared that before. Then here's a video. Eric DeBay came out and made a really shilly video about Mount Rainier's shadow. And so Mount Rainier's shadow is another proof that the sun goes below the clouds, everyone. Eric's video is thoroughly debunked in this one, and you can clearly see underlit clouds. You can clearly see things like mountains casting shadows up onto the bottom side of these clouds, and it doesn't stop there. So let's sort of zoom through here a little bit. I want to show everybody stuff like this. Here's something Eric DeBay posted, and 93 million lies away, and he's clearly showing the sun below the layer of clouds and underlighting all the clouds around it right there, right? Should be pretty easy, pretty obvious to see. More things that he shared. The sun is not 93 million miles away. It's a lot closer than we think. And then he shows a shot with clouds behind the sun, the thing that Jaren's denying right now. And he also shows this shot. And this is a snapshot from a video that will be coming up in just a little bit here. All right, more ways that you can tell where the sun is. Anti-crepuscular rays. If the light is shining up in the sky, that means that the sun is below the thing that it's shining on. Right, so anytime you get anti-crepuscular rays shining up, that's the proof of the sun being lower. And we get them all the time. This sun's going to continue to set lower and lower and lower, and when clouds go above it, guess what happens, everyone? The light shines up and you get anti-crepuscular rays. That's just how it works. We've got the chemtrail shadows, right? This is a great one where these contrails, so it's condensed air that's spraying out of here. Chemtrails are demonic as well. You can pray some of these away. But here you get situations where because of the sun's position, right, it's now casting a shadow up. Right? It's proof that the sun is below the airplane when you see a shadow racing in front of the airplane up above it. Come on, that should be clear. This video did highlight the Matt Long footage and the Wolfie thing, but then it also showed this footage of the sun setting into the ground, where you can clearly see trees on this ridge line behind the sun as it sets in. It's been shared a bunch. This part of the video shows the underlit airplanes again. And then there's the Wolfie clip again. And the end is this one. Surely you've seen this by now, everybody. What's happening here? This is the sun underneath the clouds. All right, check this out.
And only possible on a plain Earth where the sun is always physically above the clouds.
No, not always. Sometimes, but not always. Yeah. So when you're flying at the right time, right, there is going to be the time when the sun is below the clouds, and then it will be above, right? But you got to focus on these sections. We're going to be getting into some high altitude footage, and this right here is the key point to focus in on, because this is some new footage that's come in. We got this from Zwarst in the reality check chat. I want to remind everybody that when you have a focal length that's wider than human eyesight at 50 millimeters, that it's what they call fisheye. And so when the camera leans backwards, you'll get curvature like this. And then when the camera leans forward, you'll get the same curvature the other direction. So this is not proof of curvature, but what this is proof of is a sun that's just come through the layer of clouds out here at the horizon. Now, keep in mind that our circle of sight is really big now, because we're much higher than an airplane can go. And so the sun is really coming up at the horizon, the farthest that we can actually witness it, right? So what you get here is this hot spot here that, we're only seeing a couple hundred miles here, even from this elevation, right? And so to have this kind of a localized hot spot when, in the pressurized pizza dome model, the sun is 3,000 miles up, or in the heliocentric model, the sun is 93 million miles away, any of this footage like this with the localized hotspot is a debunk of both of those. Both of those. The only way you could possibly have this is if the sun had either just risen up through this cloud layer here, or if the sun was descending into this cloud layer. So you can go through, skip through, you know, remember it's swinging around, so you only get certain glimpses of it. And so we'll look for a couple spots where we see it. So this one you can see that it's coming up. Yet it's going to have a very localized hotspot here. Yeah, a little bit more separation. Getting a little bit farther up. Let's see what our last. Let's find, there we go. So here the sun is up higher and it's got a localized hotspot around here. But the key moment, and we're going to be getting into some footage that they trimmed it out of it, right? You're going to see the front edge and the back edge of it, but they took out the gravy section of when the sun is rising through this cloud layer or descending into it from this high altitude footage. So let's check out our next clip here. So this one, the balloon's up near the top of its flight. It's 109,000 feet right now. And so the timing of these flights, you know, it takes a while for it to get up there. And as you're going up, it's increasing the circle of sight. So you're expanding the distance that you can see the sun. But if you have it all timed out, you should be able to get this to happen where the sun is coming into view when you have this expanded circle of sight. And if you look here, you can see this ring glow, right? So there is a sun above the horizon here, but there's this glow of orange out here. Let's start playing this a little bit here. How do you get the orange glow underneath here? That's what happens when the sun is beneath the clouds. Now we didn't get the circle around to see where the sun was. Look at that orange glow from underneath there. Come on, spin around. Let's see you, sun. Alright, you see how bright the sun is. It's hard to tell where it is at the horizon, but what you get to see is some underlit sections and other sections that aren't. These could just be some higher clouds here that are overlit at the top, but we'll be checking out some more footage. So this one gets up to this point right here. We're at 119,000 feet and the balloon's going to burst. So then you get to watch the ride down on this. And it's pretty fun. I recommend checking it out. Where's the balloon pop? There it goes. Boom. All right, it's going to be bouncing around a lot. You can watch that one on your own. Here's another one, and one of the major things to point out from this is that we have a full moon up. Right, so you got to remember what's taking place in the pressurized pizza dome model. They have to be at opposition. The sun has to be on one side of the earth, and the moon has to be at opposition, 180 degrees, the whole other side of the dome. And it's so easy to see that that's not the case. Right, because you get a moonrise here, and on the other side you get a sunset going down. And so you can see by the shadows here where the sun has to be. What are we doing here? Trying to see where we are in this flight. This one's a little hard to tell. This is the best one I've been able to find right here. And I want you to pay attention here. It says like 62,000 feet here. We're going to go to before that. And so here we are at 27,000 feet. Let's start watching this here. Oh, there's 62. Let's go back a little bit further. So that is the cut right there. So what we're watching here is, see, the sun's not above the horizon yet. And here we have these underlit glowing clouds right here.
Yeah, 6:16 a.m.
Yeah, you see all the darkness around. But here we've got, you can see where the sun's coming, and you can see the orange glow under the clouds.
6:16.
Boom, there was the cut.
6:51 right there. Why would they, for you that's tuning in right now watching this, okay, why would you go to this great length to get a balloon and learn how to do it and track it and launch it and cut the most interesting part of the footage as you rise through the clouds with the sun rising through the clouds with you? That's surely the reason they timed the balloon launch for this purpose. So I would like you on the other side of the stream to skeptically think, why would somebody who believes in a heliocentric model, I assume, is this some kind of a Texas shot as well? MCB Victoria, Texas is what the name of the video is, the channel creator. Why would you cut? Why would you clip the best part of the footage out?
Right there. That was the cut. So that was the section of the sun was going to be rising through the clouds right there. So we've shown so many different ways that you can actually prove that you can be above the sun and moon, and that they can be below the clouds as well. They are at every rise and set. All right, so then let's go ahead and take a break now, and then when we come back, we'll get into the 24-hour footage from Antarctica. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Let's go.
I can't believe it, how
So we will get into this 24-hour footage by explaining the whole way we got into realizing that there were 24-hour suns in both the north and the south. And so that's another clip from the Jaron thing where he says that we've been saying, let's go ahead and play what Jaron said here quick. We've been saying, all right, let's check this out.
Stick because they don't match reality, then that we need to change. So for instance, Ronnie and Jason have been saying for 6-7 years that there is no circling sun in the north. I tried to do a bet with Jason where I said, well, let's both go to whatever it's like a weird spelling, QAAF or something, wherever it is in Greenland. So let's both go there. We'll both pay our own way. We'll go there. If the sun circles around us, then you have to pay me. If it does not, then I'll pay for your trip. They declined doing that. They kept saying it for years and years. Now they say, oh, now we believe that there is a circling sun in the north. Okay, great. But the whole problem is that we were saying that from the beginning. We were trying to explain that to them.
All right. So that's what happened. We were saying that all the footage that we were seeing of 24-hour suns in both the north and the south, that they were all fake. All fake. And we've been saying that for years, and we've been going through and doing YouTube searches live where we go look at all the things that we could find as evidence of a 24-hour sun in either the north or the south, and they were all clearly fake. But that changed this winter. I think it was in January. So we'll get to those timestamps. There's that's part of the setup, because let's go ahead and play this clip from Will Duffy first, and then we'll sort of wrap these two together.
Experiment will work, it will be definitive, and it will falsify either the globe model or the flat earth model. Now, some people are also saying that the final experiment will potentially only falsify one flat earth model, and they're calling it either the AE model, referring to the AE map, or the Gleason model, referring to the Gleason map. And here's what I'd like to say to you. That's not true either. So if there's another model, another flat earth model that I'm not familiar with that has a 24-hour sun in the south, in Antarctica, then you need to tell me about that one, okay? The fact that everybody's silent on this is very loud. It's very telling. And so this...
All right. We're not silent on this. We've been screaming it over and over and over. So the order of events here is that Doofus is saying that nobody else had a model that predicted this. And this is Flat Earth Friday, right? But it's from June 16th of 2023, long before the final false dichotomy ever was ever even spoken about. So let's go ahead and play this clip here where we show everybody what the model predicts, right, in both the north and the south, down into the ground. Now, the next segment that we're going to be going through is the circling sun. Because here's the issue. I'm going to go farther and farther north. All right, so I'm going farther and farther north. Look at what's happening here. As I'm going up to the top of Norway here. Now all of a sudden this diagram is showing a circling never setting sun. Alright, if I hit play on the sun, now what we have is a sun that stays above the horizon 24 hours a day and never sets. The problem with that is it's never been witnessed. It's never been witnessed. Now, in the so even at this point, we're still continuing to deny a 24-hour sun exists in the north because there had not been one single legitimate video shown of a 24-hour sun in the north. We had already covered how D. Marble had gone there and faked it, right? He CGI'd a 24-hour sun going up the side of a mountain, and we had actually covered his live stream, and we had the two different footages to be able to compare. That the video he put out afterwards was CGI. And so we were saying, you know, even though the model predicts it, there's still no evidence of it being real. Heliocentric model, it's like 51 days that both the north and the south are required. Now we know it's a half a year. It's from equinox to equinox. But I was just regurgitating what the heliocentric model was saying. They were saying 51 days. No, it's a half a year to have this. Let me show you here. So we're up north. It's supposed to get to the point like this, where if you're far enough north for 51 days, half a year, it's going around in circles like this. Watch what happens as I change the date slider. So it's supposed to be going around in circles like this, horizontal. Notice. See, this was all brand new to me. What's happening here is I went all the way to the north, and I'm at September 19th here. Guess what's going to happen at the equinox? The sun's going to go around all flat to the ground like this. Right? And then after the equinox, until the equinox. All right, so do you see a place on Earth where the sun just goes round and round and round and round in circles like this?
No.
And see, we hadn't yet, but now we're getting the evidence until the equinox, and then there's no sun until the next equinox. All right.
So we've been down this road back again for many, many years, going through the CGI. At first, the flat earthers like Eric Dubé and Rob Skiba were showing you a sun that rose and then came down to the horizon, but then rose again. It was doing loops through the sky. And then we got more CGI further on down the road, where we started to get some in the south, some in the north. Everybody was having cuts and clips.
So here we are in Antarctica, and now, all right, it's the same thing. The sun's supposed to just go around in circles. This is heliocentrism now. Sun's supposed to just go around in circles like this, never setting, never going down until you get
footage of this everywhere.
Until you get hundreds. All right, that's showing this from farther south than Will Doofus is going.
If not hundreds of thousands of videos of people just look at filming the sun circle. Pause it. Scroll down. Again,
June 16th, 2023.
So, and we were doing the searches, everyone. We were actively searching YouTube, Google, Vimeo, everywhere. We were searching everywhere looking for evidence of the 24-hour sun above the horizon. And there wasn't any, right?
Yeah. So the first evidence that came in that actually looked real came in from Zwarst in the Reality Check Telegram group. And this took place January 28th, 2024, that we covered this. So let's go ahead and check this out. And here we are back. And we are back at Reality Check Chat, everyone. This is the place to be if you want to be at the cutting edge of the truth. So we've been having some ongoing discussions regarding this 24-hour sun, and we keep on maintaining that we had seen no proof of a 24-hour sun staying above the horizon, circling above the horizon, even though the model that we use predicts that there would be one. Right? We just didn't see the evidence for it. Until, still saying this, January 28th, 2024. This is before the final experiment. Right? Catch that, everyone. This came along, so I want to show you all this. We had character Zwarst in Reality Check Chat share these two links here that we're going to be going through, and let's go ahead and take a look at this first one. So I'm going to point out a few things that I really like about this video from the get-go, and that is we have a date, we have a time, and we have a location. So this is the type of information that's missing from so many of the CGI circling sun videos. And so we have Toolik Lake, Alaska, Arctic. This was June 2013. All right, so let's go ahead and start checking this video out, and then we're going to start doing some of our research and show you the types of things that we look at to verify whether or not this is real footage or not.
I'd say we got some ice there.
Yeah.
See some floating ice, which is interesting to point out because this is during the summer solstice time. So it's when the sun is actually at its highest zenith point in the sky.
June 26 here, and there is still ice moving across the lake.
Right? Oh, why would anyone want to live there? It's a psyop. But, the sun didn't go below the horizon there.
It didn't go below the horizon, and now it's on its way back up. So we'll see it come off the edge of the screen here, and we're not going to see it again. It's just going to move around back behind the camera, and it's going to come around, and we're not going to see it again. But there's interesting things to watch to see whether or not this is CGI. So we have the wind that blew the ice out. We have the wind patterns across the water. We have some drifting ice that we can see here. Now we're going to see the ice come back in. The wind's going to shift and it's going to bring it back. So we're looking for signs of CGI versus being real, actual footage. This would be time-lapse footage, of course. And so the ice is starting to move its way back across. All this looks very, very real. And this would be very hard things to do in CGI to make it look this real and natural. It packs the ice back into this bay on this side.
Yeah, and it's coming around the other side. There's a bit of cloud cover. I'm not saying that they couldn't fake something like that, but it does look pretty genuine. You got the correct colors.
That's the big thing. That is the big thing. All right, so we talk about the colors here. We talk about the path of the sun right here. This is the very first thing that we actually considered to be real footage. And I want to show everybody how we went about doing this. So we'll come back to this location right here. That's Union Glacier. But let's go ahead and take ourselves up to Alaska. We don't have to get exactly to this Toolik Lake. It was somewhere up in this region here. You know what it takes? It takes being a little bit north of 68 degrees in order to get the path of the sun where it can stay above the horizon. Let me show you here. So at 68 degrees, you still have this amount of tilt here, but when you're out here at the solstice, you do see that here, June 21st, you do see that there is a path that is above the horizon here. So we're looking north now, and you can see that if we run the time on this, that it never does go below the horizon, right? It does do something interesting where it stops casting shadows at this low point right here. One of the things that I've been noticing is that the sun has to be a certain amount of degrees above the horizon before it starts to cast shadows. So the shadows get real weak here, and then all of a sudden they start to get stronger as the sun comes up again. But notice what's happening here is that the lowest point is like when you're looking north. All right, so if you're watching footage from the north that has the sun getting lower, lower, and lower, and then it hits a low point, and then it starts coming back up again, you can know that you're looking north. All right, we're going to use that same logic when we're in the south as well. And that way we're going to be able to, when we look at videos, clearly tell which direction it is that we're looking, right? It's by seeing the path of the sun come down and come back up. If you hit play on this, we'll speed it up just a hair. You can clearly see that what you get is circling shadows here. This is going to be key. We're going to be looking at a bunch of footage, and we're not going to be able to see the sun, but what we're going to be able to see is circling shadows. And they tell us exactly where the sun is. We don't have to have the 360-degree cam footage, right? Just this. So these were the timestamps that we had as far as, you know, we were saying that the model predicts it, but there wasn't proof. And then we saw this come in, and you see what the sun does here. So one of the things that we constantly see in the CGI footage is that when the sun comes down, where do I play it? Let's just play this. You can see that the sun is going down. Some of our research, and they're not. Yeah.
See some floating ice, which is interesting to point out because this
coming
is
down, coming down, coming down.
So it's when the sun is actually at its highest zenith point in the sky.
June 26 here, and there's coming back up, moving across the lake.
Right? Ooh, why would anyone want to live?
That right there, as long as this is not CGI, is proof of a 24-hour sun. You don't have to watch it go all the way around your head, everyone. You can just be looking north, see it go down, and come back up. That's all you got to do. So let's go ahead and jump into the footage that this video right here is a Will Doofus video titled "Why Did Eric Dubay Change His Mind on Antarctica?" And one of the things he does in here is he drops links to what he says is his footage of a 24-hour sun. So let's go ahead and start picking up what he's laying down, and then we'll start digging into it for ourselves. We'll actually do the research instead of just see that he made a citation. We'll take a look at it.
And C for part of the revolution.
Okay, both sides agree there is a 24-hour sun, a midnight sun in the Arctic in the north. But then you say something that makes no sense to me, and again, I'm curious where you are getting this from.
If the Earth was actually a spinning globe revolving around the sun, the only place such a phenomenon as the midnight sun could be observed would be at the poles. Any other vantage point, from 89 degrees latitude downwards, could never, regardless of any tilt or inclination, see the sun for over 24 hours straight. To do so on a spinning globe, at a point other than the poles, you would have to be looking through miles and miles of land and sea for part of the revolution.
Simple geometry here. With a single light source, you can only light up half of a sphere. And since the globe model says the globe is tilted, it's not just at the poles where a 24-hour sun would be visible. I don't even know what question to ask you here, as it's clear there is no way for you to substantiate this claim of yours, and it just appears you're not familiar with the globe model. Moving on.
In order to fit the heliocentric globe model, this midnight sun phenomenon must also occur for observers south of the Antarctic Circle during winter solstice. Depending how far south the observer is, the sun should be seen for several days or weeks, never fully setting, just like it does in the north. In reality, however, there is never 24-hour sunlight anywhere in Antarctica at any time of year.
Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff. This is where you state two very important things. First, you say,
in order to fit the heliocentric globe model, this midnight sun phenomenon must also occur for observers south of the Antarctic Circle during winter solstice.
This is correct. If the globe model is correct, the 24-hour sun must happen in the south in Antarctica. And then you say this.
In reality, however, there is never 24-hour sunlight anywhere in Antarctica at any time of year.
As I stated before, you have been adamant for years that there is not a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. And you take this stance because if there is a 24-hour sun, your model is wrong.
Eric's
I hope
model.
you realize that it was comments from flat earthers just like yourself that helped me come up with this idea for the final experiment.
Let's go ahead and jump into some of these clips that he's putting forward as his evidence. All right, so it starts here.
Is a lie. You say this.
Since this particular lie is so important to the heliocentric facade, if you search online, you will find a couple videos purporting to show 24-hour sunlight in Antarctica. But just like the rest of the globe's pathetic video evidence, they are all fake.
I find it interesting that you say there are only a couple videos and then say they are all fake. If I only believed there were 2 videos, I would say they are both fake. I wouldn't say they are all fake. Here's another clip of you saying the same thing.
The Ball Earth pseudoscientists have tried to claim 24-hour sunlight also happens in Antarctica during the winter solstice to help bolster their wobbling ball model. But their only supposed evidence is a couple of clearly fake edited videos which have been thoroughly debunked.
Again, you claim there are only a couple videos which you say are fake and edited.
It's difficult to find any clearly legitimate videos of the mid.
Let's get to some of the things that he's saying are the real things. All right, so he shows frozen south. And here is frozen south. This is from Anthony Powell at Scott Base 8 years ago. And if we take a look through this, the vast majority of the video just doesn't offer any real evidence. I mean, here's the type of thing that he's showing as the evidence. There's no sun here. No evidence. Here we got a thing on the screen that says in the summer, from October until February, the sun stays above the horizon 24 hours a day. And it's from inside. And then we get this. We've always complained that this absolutely reeks of being CGI because the glint doesn't even change here. Like it's that doesn't look real at all. All right, so we've been against this piece.
Yeah, that's just a filter applied in the editor that makes the sun do that with the light. It's ridiculous that they added that. But again, they had to add that so that everybody could say that it was fake footage. Just like he draw masked out the mountains there so that the lettering was actually behind them, right? Flat Earther said he's edited the video. He did edit it, absolutely.
Then he brings up the Antarctica 24-hour sun.
And then the unedited version comes out, which is the control to debunk people like Jaron and Eric Dubay that have been saying, and us. Everybody was saying this is all clearly not real, not trustable footage. And then they bring out the controlled argument. This is exactly the way that Team Azazel has done it for all the years. Problem, reaction, solution. They have the setup to the experiment that they want to do. They put out the fake evidence against it. They're using Jaron. They've been using Jaron the entire time. And then they come out with this Anthony Powell guy, and he says, well, here's the raw footage. And they actually show you the true evidence and then walk away like they've just won something when they designed it to work that way. And this is the same play they do every single time.
Yeah, so here's the most recent from Anthony Powell, and this is the one that
so I went on to talk to Bro Sanchez to try to help them, to show them the evidence and the research we've been doing. And when I brought this clip on, he lost his mind on me, started yelling at me, started trying to like attack me, because he found the edit where they actually stitch, like if anybody understands a 3D camera, it takes the footage and then it has to wrap the video around into an editor so that you can manipulate through the environment. It takes a 2-dimensional video and makes it into almost a 3-dimensional tool. Right?
Yeah,
so he found the spot where they've edited the left from the right side together, and he said that debunks this.
Yeah, so I did a little research on the 360 cams, and all of them, except for one, spliced together, footage from two sides. So you have two cameras that are each shooting a half hemisphere, and then it gets spliced together and there's a seam. That is how all of this 360 footage works. Every single one of these videos, except the footage that comes from one camera, is going to have a seam in it. All right. And that's just the way it is. But all you have to do is actually sit here and look at, all right, the sun's right here and the shadow's being cast this direction. And do that with every single thing.
Right. When you find due south and you have the sun above the horizon, you don't even need to see the full rotation. There's only one section of the sky that the sun should never be, ever in the sky, ever, at a certain time of the day, never. And I think it's there, right there, right? That's the spot in the video.
Yeah, so sure, you can find a seam in this. All 360 footage has a seam in it. Should we dismiss all 360 footage because it has a seam in it? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. But that's what Bro Sanchez wanted to do. And, say that this was debunked.
Right.
But here you have the ability to pan around, watch the sun the whole time. It's finally a clear day. Most of this footage they show has got clouds and stuff in it. Let's go back here and see what else he's got. He's got a different kind of 360 cam. This is actual evidence of a never setting sun. You've got the different frozen souths. He doesn't have that much good footage, in my opinion. What do we got here? A year on ice. So a lot of gloomy days, things that aren't gonna give you much evidence to go by. Yeah, this is unimpressive. So let's go ahead and move on to I guess that I had that video up already. All right, so Wolfie 6020 published this video. This is a Robert Schwartz. He published this 5 years ago. There's the original here, and so let's go ahead and check out the original on this. And this video, you're going to see later on, actually shows up in a PSYOP piece created by David Weiss. So let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger for us all. And so pay attention to all the things like the shadows from any sort of stick, object in the foreground. So this is what a circling sun looks like, everybody. And this is at the South Pole, they're saying. Only at the pole. The sun circles around the horizon.
So one way to investigate what you're seeing is to understand if the sun is not, it's that gleamy filter there. If the sun is not rising and setting at all and it's staying parallel to the horizon, there's only a very limited amount of places that you can be in reality where that would happen. And that's almost directly on the poles, because everywhere else you would start to get an arc or a rise set pattern out of the sun and moon.
Yeah, let's show everybody what that actually looks like. So we're in the north right now. We're going to back up and we're going to go all the way to the South Pole. Let's I want to show everybody as I'm dragging this slider down here how the circle of sight is turning over. All right. And now once we get down to $90 degrees south, now all we have to do is adjust our date slider past the fall equinox. And what's happening here? All right, we have a sun that's rotating around horizontal to the ground. The elevation is not going to be changing. All it's going to be doing is rising each day it goes around. So notice how as I bring this slider up towards the December solstice, that now we have it going around at its highest elevation. And that's no doubt what we're seeing in this footage right here. Well, this doesn't have to be right at the solstice. It's not super high. But they're saying that they're at the South Pole. And here is the sun circling around. And what a trip this has to be able to stand there and just watch the sun go around you. And this is in your circle of sight. You can see the hot spot at the horizon. I hope I have enough time to show everybody from Stellarium what this looks like. Pretty amazing stuff. All right, so let's keep moving. We've got, this is something that was recommended. Midnight Sun Antarctica, Richard Ross. And we've got this guy that has a little tent out here. We can watch the shadows wrap around this thing right here. We can watch the shadows off of this. See whether or not the sun is continuing to go around behind us. We see this shadow coming around. Sun continuing to go around us. Change color a little bit, right? Went sort of yellowish. And we see these shadows wrapping around off the building, and here comes the sun again. Right? Did you see the sun go down? Shadows are the evidence that it didn't, right? Because we saw the shadows go all the way around. You know, we can take a look at places like this. This is the coordinates. If we go back to the video, he actually left the coordinates for the camp. So I just copied those coordinates, and here they are. So you know that at 74 degrees south, like I said, you need to be at like 68 degrees south to start getting this 24-hour never setting sun. And so yeah, this is absolutely within the range of where you would get to see this type of path right here. All right. See, you can see the area. Do the research, everybody. Check all this stuff out. Here's another video. This is, you've probably seen this one. It's not the greatest quality. And this is 1999. But pay attention to the shadows. And watch that these shadows. You see, you had a bad glare from the sun. People are going to say, oh yeah, that was CGA. But what you got to see is the shadows wrap all the way around. Here is another video that was recommended by Will Duffy, but the problem with these is they're almost all overcast. This whole channel here, he pointed to Antarctic streams because they have like thousands of videos. But they're all like this. They don't show anything. You don't get to see the shadows. There, you get to see them for just a hair. Right? That doesn't prove anything to you. Much better evidence than just this. But here you have a clear moment. You get to see. No, you didn't get to see it. The sun came in. So this is that channel that he recommended that had so many videos. Notice that there's just like no sun. There's no sun in any of these things. It's horrible.
So we've been getting the different government stations, right? This Antarctic streams. If you could see, it had Casey Station. Oh, you changed it. It had Ma Sun. And then you've got Union Glacier. Then there's a bunch of them. You have to
research all of these different things. McGuire Station, I think that says Davis Station, and you'll start to see where. So this is a concerted effort. These are all government operations, right? This is where they go. This is what they do, and they're finally letting us see all this, right? They're giving it up. They're showing it because they want to end the fake debate that they've caused with their controlled debunks.
So this Schwartz guy, he's got some cool videos here. Let's go ahead and check a couple of these out. So did the sun get to a, what do we got here? We got, this is South Pole. South Pole. All right. Circling around there. Lots of clouds, but you do get some moments of clarity. Watch the shadows wrapping around. All right, March. So we're getting close to an equinox. What's going to be happening? Sun's going to run around that edge where it's just like half a sun, right? And then eventually it's going to be no sun. Let's watch this. We got a couple more days. Hopefully it stays clear. Here we're at, there's the equinox. Sun's running around right at the horizon all the way around. Notice how you see the light coming in around the sun, but now all of a sudden, now you're barely getting like half the sun. We're gonna go a couple more days. Look at the moon going around. I mean, look at the moon circling around. All right, do you see how you're getting less and less of the sun, and then eventually, what do you get out here? All you're gonna have, there's the moon going around. See, there's the glow of the sun. No more sun. Right, this matches the model that we've been sharing exactly, everyone. Exactly. There's a lot of great videos on this channel here. Let's see if we can go back. It's not going to let me go back. Oh, I got to hit X. Phases of the moon. Check this out. So it's not just the sun. The moon we can zoom into, and we can actually see the details on the face of it.
So, another point of contention for Will Duffy and the final experiment. So, is there any reason why they didn't actually schedule the experiment to have the 24-hour up moon to go with the 24-hour up sun? So they're showing up as the moon sets, and that's it. They're not going to have the moon again while they're doing this experiment. To me, is an absolute huge fail, and again, showing that not enough thought was put into this before he just went with it.
Yeah, so here we go. We're going to be able to see a circling moon changing its phases, right? Because it goes up for 14 days and then it's down for 14 days. Goes up for 14 days, then it's down for 14 days. So you see its elevation will change as it's circling around, but this is staying equidistant to the observer at the South Pole right here. And it's going through its phases. I mean, virtual reality proof, everyone. You think a circling moon where you can see it go through its phases? And look at that. A little bit of clouds. Now also notice that we're at a time period where the sun's not above the horizon. It's going to be harder to see the moon when the sun's above the horizon. There's so much that you can know just from looking at this footage. Here's another clip going from a half moon. The phase is shrinking, everyone. We're going through the days. I think watching the moon is actually better than watching the sun, because you can actually see that it's the face of the moon. You can see the different features. Just watch it change right in your circle of sight, going around you. All the way around. Circle, 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 circle. How does that work with the pressurized pizza dome? It doesn't. Alright, so you should be getting the point here. Here's a video, frozen time. So it's a time lapse, but you can actually see things taking place in the video. Let's get a little closer here. Alright, so because there's action in the video, because there's a building being built, we can tell that this is not CGI, because you know, things happen. All of a sudden a floor system will be in here later, and then beams will be up higher, and they'll be building the second and third stories. But what can you get out of this? Well, you can get these shadows coming off of these columns that are going in full complete circles. This first part of the footage right here is a bunch of sunny days that don't have any cloud interruptions, and you can just pick on any point that you want here, and you can watch it go round and round and round. You'll come across a splice or two in the video, but you'll see that one or two splices here or there doesn't matter, because you get many rotations of the sun, and complete ones. Like, the clouds aren't interfering with it. You can watch the shadows go all the way around something and come back around. You don't have to even see the sun, everyone, is what I'm trying to tell you. Right? We don't see the sun in any of these shots. But we know exactly where it is. And we know that it's not setting, right? Because we're getting shadows going all the way around, over and over and over. And, you know, there's more in this video. It's not just this. They show different scenes here. Here's the building at another phase. You can see that they've made some progress on it. Same shadows going round and around and round. I don't think you can CGI something like this, everyone. Having the people walking around, the building being built, the equipment coming in and out. You see airplanes coming in and delivering stuff. And you see the shadows going round and round and round. Alright, so skip through these videos and see what you can figure out from yourself. Even a shot like this, you can have a snowman sitting out in the field, but as long as you watch the shadow go around the snowman, it's proof of a 24-hour sun. Couple things I want to point out here. This is Union Glacier in Antarctica. Now we can't really watch it from here, we found out. That'll fry it, but I did make a video out of this. So here's a video of Union Glacier where you're using Google Earth, and I want to point out that, so here's the marker that shows up, and then you can see that there's some stuff down right here. What I want is for you to get your orientation in this Union Glacier Bay. So what I did is I just traveled to the west right here, and here's where that marker is. And then I'm going to spin around here. We're in this valley. I'm going to head back over here where I see this stuff, because all the camp photos that I'm seeing, their tents are positioned in front of this mountain right here. Like our thumbnail tonight, the sun is rising over this crest right here. And there's some other key features in the camp that'll teach you some stuff. So here I am going to the north. This is the north up here. I'll go north, turn around, look back. So this position right down here, let me slow down just a hair. This is looking, alright, this is looking out to the east and southeast over here. The south is going to be over to our right. Alright, and this position right here is going to be, where is this picture? This shot right here. So this is a critical one. Just look up Union Glacier camp. Start looking through the pictures right here, and you're going to see that right now we are looking south. South. The sun is south. In fact, if you zoom in on this pole right here, you're actually going to see here we've got an arrow pointing to the North Pole right here. And we've got the sun's over here. So we are looking south. And what does that mean? It means that this is midnight. And it means that the sun is clearly not going to set. Everybody, if you're looking south at Union Glacier camp and you see the sun up in the sky like this, right, that's the debunk of well, I mean, it's the proof that the sun does circle, right? That's all you need. You can see all the shadows. Was a shadow of every one of these tents calculated, and sun up here, like this whole thing is a CGI setup. No, you can look at any of the maps out here. You can zoom in on Union Glacier. So you look at this peninsula right here, zoom into this group of mountains, and you're going to see this pocket right here, which I guess they say is the glacier. I guess the glacier flows down like this. But where do they set up their camp? Usually right here. And so that means that picture was being taken looking this direction. When you're in this area and you're looking right at these mountains, you're looking south. And if you can see off the edge of the mountains right here, you're looking to the southeast. All of these views are big no-no views for the pressurized pizza dome. You can't have the sun doing circles around this direction, because that is south. So everybody's got to get their orientation and see that really, like right over here, you can see where the North Pole sign is pointed. Over this way is south. Right, so the sun's going to go around here without setting. It's not hard, everybody. So all you have to do is look at pictures. And here we are looking to the southeast. Right? And the sun's not setting. That's our thumbnail for tonight. Go ahead and find any of these pictures that has the sun up in that direction. You can even tell by the shadows. You don't need to see where the sun is. Just see where the shadow is, and you'll be able to see whether or not this is a time period that is a debunk of the Freemason New World Order pressurized pizza dome. Simple, right?
Yeah, but they can still go and verify that it's all true and that the model comports to 103rd degree per second if they take correct equipment and they do their tests, as well as the new. We don't have time to get into it, but
I got two quick
Go ahead.
2 quick links left, and then we'll wrap it up for tonight. So this right here is a video that Dirty Dave, put out a year ago. 24-hour sun in Antarctica debunks flat Earth. What do you think of that? I mean, this was June 18th of 2023. 24-hour sun in Antarctica debunks flat Earth is what he's saying. And what does he do here? He says, here is their proof of the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Then he plays that video that we were watching. This is from the South Pole that has the sun circling around horizontal to the ground. And the only thing that he's done is he's added a second sun to the footage. Right. Me showing how easy it is to fake something like this. But this is so stupid. Let's wait until this comes around here and I'll show you how you can see how...
Why would he take his time to try to fake this? And it doesn't look the same, but why? What is someone seeing on the other side of the screen? Why is David Weiss trying to fake a 24-hour sun for you?
All right, so what he's saying is it's super easy to just CGI in another sun, but let's say that this didn't have a real sun in the footage. That would mean that his fake sun would have to be casting all the shadows from the position that he's at. So if this was so easy, what he should be able to do is mask out the real sun and create a new line of shadows from this off of everything in the whole scene. Every single snowdrift, right? He put his sun up in the air. How come he didn't do it where it had to go behind anything and get blocked like this? And the shadows are being cast by this sun here, not his sun up here. You can clearly see that right here. Shadows being cast by this sun, the real one. So it's not easy to fake. Him just putting this stupid second sun up in the air like this is retarded and part of the PSYOP. Right, this was his debunk of it, just adding this up here. Well, no, this one actually has shadows being cast from this position over here. All right, so that's Dirty Dave for you. And just to remind everybody, this was Jaren's position when at the beginning of Flat Earth.
And then out on the island, we have McMurdo, which is near Shackleton's hut. So this is a webcam footage, and I will show you wherein lies the lie. So you see the sun come and go from your upper right to your upper left. And let's watch the shadow of the stick that's straight.
No, you don't see the sun. We're only looking at shadows here. This is an overcast day.
In front of us. So the kind of green one, straight ahead. Let's watch, keep an eye on that shadow, and you'll notice that the camera simply resets. So here comes the shadow towards us, but why don't we get to see the shadow go around? Notice that the shadow of the green flag is coming around, but we never see it go in front of the green flag.
All right, so this is Jaren's whole thing, is that there were cuts. All right, so then how come we can't go back and watch footage like this where we get to see days upon days without cloudy footage of the shadows going around continuously?
He didn't choose this video because he wanted everybody to believe that there was no such thing as a 24-hour Antarctic sun. It's obvious that Jaren was playing the debunk side to the controlled Will Duffy evidence, and he's literally the guy that's going to go and film it. It should be obvious to everyone that Jaren's been in on this the entire time.
So we've got clear and obvious shadows going all the way around here, but just because Jaren focused on this one, and
why is that?
We're saying that they had all this, the real footage, hidden up until just recently, since Doofus started his final false dichotomy.
Because the sun isn't going around the continent. If it was, we would see the sun go around, then it would be behind us. If the sun was behind us, the shadow of the green flag would be in front of it. But that never happened.
Never happens.
So, and just to be clear, the footage was up they put it there, but it wasn't searchable. It's not discoverable, right?
Right.
They controlled who was able to see it, and they controlled, like they had to have Jesse Jaron put out the clipped one, right? And then the one with the overexposure on the filter on the sun, right? They only put out their controlled ones that they're going to debunk.
Yeah, there's more spots within this video, but I know the whole beginning of it is good, nice, clear days. And yeah, you get to watch the shadows go all the way around everybody. Over and over and over again. So the evidence is out there. And we're going to keep sharing it over and over and over again, all the way through this final false dichotomy PSYOP. And, you know, it's up to you, everybody. If you want to think that Jaron is telling you the truth, then be prepared to say that Earth's a ball when he does. Right? But we won't be with you, because we actually have a model that predicts this. And, yeah, it won't change our minds on a flat Earth whatsoever. It'll just confirm it for us. Well, is there anything else you want to go through tonight, brother?
No, that was good, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. And again, please join at the Reality Check chat group on Telegram and get involved. Make some memes and, you know, share video footage that you find with us.
Well, it's been another great Flat Earth Friday. Where's the only place people are going to get this content, brother?
Only on the Yahushua News Networks.